Hello, hello. I used to think that just outworking everyone was the magic formula. On the construction site, the guy who put in the most hours and pushed the hardest was the one who got ahead. And I was convinced that if I just brought the same work ethic to my own business, success was a sure thing. Yeah, and I was wrong. Dead wrong. This online business, the thing I was pouring my life into after leaving my supervisor job, almost broke me. I was on the edge of total burnout, looking at the wreckage of my dream and just wondering, how did I get it so wrong? The same drive that got me started had twisted into a machine that ran on anxiety and exhaustion. The problem wasn't that I wasn't working hard enough. The problem was I was missing the right mindset. It wasn't until I learned three critical lessons. Not about spreadsheets or marketing funnels, but about how I was showing up as a person, that everything started to shift. These are the three lessons that saved my business and, honestly, my sanity. And I really wish someone had told me them before I ever decided to trade in my hard hat for a laptop. Lesson number one: your why is your lifeline. When I started out, my why was pretty shallow. I just wanted to be successful. That's what I told everyone, and it's what I told myself. But what does that even mean? To me, it meant hitting certain commission goals, getting on leaderboards, and getting a pat on my back from the online world. So I picked an affiliate niche that, on paper, looked like a gold mine. It was a hot industry. I saw a clear path to making money, and I just jumped. Those 6 months, a total blur. 16-hour days went the exception. They were just Tuesday. I was building funnels and grinding and pushing, and it was sort of working. The business was growing, yeah, but I was shrinking. I'd wake up every morning with this pit of dread in my stomach. The work just felt hollow, like a long list of tasks I had to get through. I was building something I felt no real connection to. I was so focused on the what, the affiliate product, the profit, that I totally forgot to ask why I was doing it in the first place. The breaking point came while setting up a promotion for a potentially huge affiliate offer. Getting sales would have been a game changer financially. I'd prepped for weeks, but sitting there looking at the product, I felt nothing. No spark, no excitement. All I could think was I would never actually recommend this to anyone. I was chasing a prize I didn't even want. I realized my entire business was built on a foundation that couldn't last. Because here is the thing: making money can't be your only driver. It's a result of doing good work, not the reason for the work. When the tough times hit, and trust me, they will, profit alone is not enough to pull you through. That's when I finally got the first lesson. You have to start with and always come back to your why. Your purpose is your North Star. It's the real, emotional reason your business exists, beyond the balance sheet. It's what gets you through the days when it feels like everything is on fire. So I took a step back. I had to. I started asking myself the hard questions. What impact did I really want to have? What problems did I actually get excited about solving? I had to reconnect with why I even started this journey in the first place. I wanted freedom, a chance to create something that mattered, and to help people in a way that felt like me. The business I was running did none of that. So I made a terrifying choice. I pivoted. I changed my entire niche to focus on something I was genuinely passionate about, even though it looked less profitable on paper. The difference was immediate. The work was still incredibly hard, but the dread was gone. It was replaced with purpose. Entrepreneurs who build a business around their passion are just tougher. They are more resilient because the work fuels them instead of draining them. Your why isn't just some fluffy sentence for your website. It's the lifeline that will pull you through the darkest moments of this journey. Lesson number 2. Become a student of your failures. Before I started my business, I was terrified of failing. I had this idea that successful entrepreneurs were just a different breed of people who didn't fail. They had brilliant ideas, executed them perfectly, and that was that. Because of this, I was a total perfectionist. I thought everything had to be flawless right out of the gate. My first website, my first affiliate campaign, I would tinker with them for weeks, scared to death to put anything out there that wasn't perfect. This flawed thinking led to my first major campaign disaster. I spent months and way too much of my own money building what I was convinced was the perfect sales funnel for an affiliate product. I barely looked at any real world feedback because deep down I was afraid people would find flaws in my brilliant idea. I thought I know what they need. I finally launched it with a big ad push, sat back and waited for the flood of commissions. Instead, crickets. A few clicks, but it was an absolute, undeniable failure. My first reaction was just pure shame. I felt like a total fraud. My perfectionism didn't prevent me from failing. It just made the fall that much harder. I wanted to hide, delete the whole thing, and pretend it never happened. I saw it as a final verdict on me as an entrepreneur. But after a week of moping, a quote I'd read popped into my head. The master has failed more times than the novice has ever tried. I realized I had two choices. I could let this failure crush me, or I could let it teach me. This is the second lesson. You have to see every failure not as an endpoint, but as a tuition payment for your business education. It's about believing that your abilities aren't fixed and that challenges are opportunities to get better, not signs that you should quit. So, instead of running from my failure, I leaned right into it. I dove into the analytics to see where people were dropping off. I even put a small poll on the landing page asking why people weren't interested. Their answers were tough to read, but they were also pure gold. They didn't want the perfect, all-in-one thing I was promoting. They wanted something way simpler, more focused, and that solved a different problem. My approach had failed, but I hadn't. The failure wasn't a verdict, it was data. Using that feedback, I found a new, much simpler affiliate product to promote. I created a new, straightforward campaign based on what people had told me. I launched it quietly 2 months later. No big expensive campaign. And it took off. That failed campaign became the single most important lesson in my company's history. It taught me that progress is so much more valuable than perfection. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's just part of the process. When you start treating failure as your teacher, you turn it from something you are ashamed of into your most powerful tool for growth. Lesson number 3: own your success with extreme accountability. About a year into my business, there was a stretch where everything just felt hard. An affiliate partner suddenly cut their commissions rate, a big marketing campaign tanked, and a competitor was suddenly everywhere. My default setting was to blame everyone and everything else. It was my affiliates manager's fault for the pay cut. It was the algorithm's fault for the failed campaign. It was the market's fault for being unfair. I was stuck in this loop of frustration and finger pointing, feeling like a victim of my circumstances. That mindset is poison. When you blame outside factors, you give away all your power. If the problem is out there, then so is the solution. And it's completely out of your hands. You are basically just waiting for the world to change so your business can get better. And let me tell you, the world does not care about your business plan. The shift happened when I discovered the concept of extreme ownership. It's a simple but game-changing idea. As the leader, you are responsible for everything. Not some things, but everything. The wins, the losses, all of it. If an affiliate program cuts its rates, it's because I failed to diversify and became too reliant on one income stream. If a marketing campaign bombs, it's because my strategy was weak or I didn't do enough research. If a competitor is eating my lunch, it's because I failed to innovate faster or provide more value. This isn't about beating yourself up, it's the opposite. It's about taking back control. The second you stop blaming and take full responsibility, you get your power back to change things. So, I put it into practice. Instead of just being angry about the commission cut, I took ownership. It was my fault for putting all my eggs in one basket. That realization forced me to go out and build relationships with 3 new affiliate partners, which ultimately made my business much more stable and secure. Next, I went back to that failed ad campaign. I stopped blaming the platform and looked at my own decisions. The ad copy wasn't clear, the targeting was too wide, the offer just wasn't that great. They were all my mistakes. I owned them, I learned from them, and our next campaign was a success. Taking extreme ownership feels heavy at first, but is the most liberating thing you can do as an entrepreneur. It breaks you out of that crippling victim mentality and puts you firmly back in the driver's seat. You stop waiting for things to get better and you make them better. No one is coming to save you or build your business for you. You and you alone are responsible. It's a hard truth, but it's also the key that unlocks your ability to solve any problem that comes your way. All right. So there you have it. The 3 lessons that changed everything for me. First, anchor everything you do in your why, because passion is the only fuel that will actually last. Second, become a student of your own failures, because they are your greatest teachers. And third, practice extreme ownership, because taking responsibility gives you the power to change your own destiny. Building a business is one of the hardest things you can ever do. And the biggest battles are usually not with the market, but with your own mind. The mental grind is real, and the hustle culture lies to us, making us think burnout is some kind of badge of honor. It's not. Real, lasting success comes from building yourself right alongside your business. If you are just starting out, or you are in a rough patch, I really encourage you to look inward. Are you connected to your purpose? Are you learning when you get knocked down? Are you taking ownership? Mastering these things won't just save your business, they'll make the whole journey worthwhile. Thanks for watching. If this was helpful, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next. And I've got a question for you. Which of these 3 lessons hits home for you the most right now? Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Now, go build something amazing.